young people with skills. We have engineers, we have people with software developers, we have IT technicians. Those skills, we need them in agriculture because, we are now practicing farming of the future, the way design generally, but most successful farmers are engineers. Once you are in an industry, make sure that you fully participate in all spheres in that industry. So we want activists, we want active farmers who are activists, who will be able to have interest at heart.
So we are still broadcasting, we're still having meaningful conversations, and we're still on the ground in tune with the relevant people who we're supposed to be talking to. And my next speaker at this current moment is Mr. Dimpho Xaba. And Mr. Dimpho Xaba is a chairperson of the, how do you say that? Is it you say it individually, YARSDA? Or is it like an abbreviated YARDSA or something?
Yeah, it's Youth in Agriculture and Rural Development.
Okay.
So abbreviation is YAD.
Okay, so that's Youth in Agriculture and Rural Development. But for all those who don't know, what does your portfolio intake?
Okay, what YAD does is that our responsibility is to mobilize all young people that have interest in agriculture or they're in agricultural space. Then our work, we link them with possible opportunities, which are funding institutions, markets. We also an advocacy group in terms of the policy direction. We have to influence the policy direction in the direction in which is going to favor our members. We also touch on the environmental space. For sure, you are all aware that we are facing a climate change. So a lot of young people out there, they are not aware what is the cause of climate change, which is the emissions, the pollutions that are happening around. So part of our work is to educate these young people that you can't pollute our rivers, you can't pollute our dams. You can't just go around to throw, rubbish in the streets. You can actually use this rubbish because it's gold. You can, establish businesses of recycling and reusing this garbage to make money.
Yeah. All right, we have, it's quite an interesting portfolio, and I think a lot of our online community is really interested in trying to engage with you. And there's a couple of questions that I've seen come through, and one is asking what innovative opportunities exist for young people in agriculture and rural development, specifically around Gauteng.
There are a lot. I think agriculture today has transformed. It's been known as the old man, industry, but of today it has transformed. We have, the new technologies like your drone technology that we use to spray our crops with chemicals. In the past we used to use tractors. You could imagine the wheel of a tractor. The compaction in the soil, and to avoid a lot of problems, a drone is driven by AI, is going to, do the perfect work. If you set the drone that you must spray all this field in this fashion, it's not going to get tired like a human being that is driving a tractor.
Yes.
So we have various tools. We have moisture sensors that we use in the agricultural space, where you can just install them in your field, and you can travel abroad, and you'll be able to see if workers in the farm, they did not irrigate in the farm, and if they irrigated, we can actually see how much water was put in the farm. We also have some innovations where, just model the farm state. How can you, use renewable energy in the farm? So all the rubbish, the cow dungs that you get, the bioproduct you get from your farm, you can actually use them to generate electricity that in turn you can use in the farmhouse.
That is so interesting, because I was just thinking to myself, how can young people leverage on technology to transform agriculture and in turn contribute to food security? Because it's quite a critical a factor at the current moment, especially in the country. So what can young people do in terms of leveraging technologies to improve food security and agriculture as a whole?
Look, we have many young people with skills. We have engineers, we have people with software developers, we have IT technicians. Those skills, we need them in agriculture, because, you know, we are now practicing farming of the future. We are no longer, you know, sticking to the olden days. So all these skills, they play a very important role. Imagine if you are, you know, you are having a mechanical background in the farming space where we use machineries. Some of these machineries, you have to adjust them in order to fit into your production system, because they were designed generally. But most you know, successful farmers are engineers, are people with you know, technical skills, because they can be able to use that skills to operate machineries in the farm. So that in turn will assist us in terms of improving the food security in the country, and be able to, you know, to meet the targets that are there. And ultimately, if we have more, we can export to our neighboring countries and those in the west and the east.
So how do young people then get involved in the shaping of policies? Like, how do young people get involved in policies that shape the future of sustainable agriculture? Because a lot of the times you'd find that it seems like it's a job of government to be able to do that. But as a person on the ground level, as a young person who has interest in the field of agriculture, probably merging science and agriculture and the engineering and everything, and like the whole entire technology and science system together, how do they become involved in shaping the policies about sustainable agriculture?
You know, there is a slogan that is generally loved that says, "Nothing for us without us." So once you are in an industry, make sure that you fully participate in all spheres in that industry. So we want activists. We want active farmers who are activists, who will be able to have, you know, interest at heart. You can't just sit in your farm and think that you'll be able to make it. You need to be, you know, to be involved in policy shift. You need to participate in government consultative meetings so that you can be able to contribute towards the policy shift. You need to participate in organized agriculture. You need to lobby, you know, other farmers towards your perspective. So as a young farmer, you really need to broadly participate and ensure that you know, your voice is heard. But if you don't participate, unfortunately, others are going to participate. They are going to influence the policy shift, and unfortunately, you'll have to live with it at the end of the day.
Lastly, I want to understand from you that out of, you know, I know you're probably invited to come as part of the panelists, and with the knowledge and the information that you have, why did you decide to honor this invitation out of everything else that was happening today? Why particularly this event?
Okay, it is always important that when we are given platform, we make ourselves available, because there are a lot of people that are looking up to us, and they come here specifically looking for that particular information. So if we don't come, we really, you know, these young people would have missed an opportunity to get much valuable information that they would have, you know, received if you came. But generally, it is always interesting to, you know, engage between young people, various stakeholders, either from government, private, politicians, so that we can have a conversation that can assist us in driving, you know, the economy of this country.
And we have learned a lot, especially for people who are not in agriculture. We have at least gained some insightful information based on your presentation in the panel. And thank you for gracing us with your presence in our show. So thank you so much for having us.
No, thank you very much for hosting me on your platform.
Thank you.